Hello everyone, this is Zanya Anila and this time I'm going to introduce to you the actional competence. Are you familiar with an actional competence? Before we go there, let us take a look to our objectives first. So now, actional competence was added by Salsa et al. As a separate competence from Canal and Swain's model of communicative competence and Bachmann's model of communicative language ability. It is defined as the ability to perform and recognize speech acts and language forms and the ability to react to it properly. Salsa, Dernier, and Thoreau believed that actional competence is an important part of second language interactional knowledge. Learners are exposed to the vast variety and repertoire of forms, phrases, language routines, and language strategies, have a better command in language, and can perform speech acts and utilize language forms properly. Furthermore, Long and Kirk also added that there was an increase in language learning tasks and task-based syllabi in communicative language teaching and speech acts, and language functions have an important role in task analysis. An example to the claim of Long and Crook is a study conducted by Carretero, Mays, and Martinez in an analysis of speech acts and task-oriented interaction, which resulted to the role of speech acts as a device in building rapport in such online interaction. Now we have here the two components of actional competence. The first one we have the knowledge of speech acts, and the second one we have the knowledge of language functions. So what are language functions? These are the most highly developed linguistic content area in communicative language teaching. Language functions are what the learners do with the language as they interact from each other with a specific language purpose, like expressing ideas or showing understanding. Language functions have 7 categories, which consist of first, the exchange of information between and among people to accomplish personal and relationship goals. Next, the function of language in expressing opinions and emotions, the use of language in negotiating and convincing, in disagreeing or expressing discontent, and in expressing one's hopes, desires, and goals. We are done with our language functions. Let us go now to our speech acts. What are speech acts? As a review, speech acts are pattern of interaction or verbal exchange of patterns or a speech event which is uttered or expressed by an individual that not only present information but perform an action as well. I hope that these two components of actional competence are clear to you. If you have questions, you may ask us later. When these components are met by students, they can effectively use the language and they can able to communicate their ideas or constraints easily. Thus, language teachers have to create or develop interactional tasks that would help the learners hone their interactional skills. We are done with the two components of actional competence. We may now proceed to its implication and language assessment. How do we assess actional competence in our learners? We assess them through authentic assessment. According to Flowerdew 1990, language facilitators have to expose their learner in a larger pragmatic context for them to interpret and analyze their situation. Language facilitators have to develop a certain scenario and let students observe or demonstrate their language capabilities in negotiating and addressing their situation. By doing so, we are giving our learners a first-hand experience in which they can learn and acquire certain language strategies that may help them develop their skills. Thank you for watching. If you have questions or clarification, please ask us later during our webinar session. Thank you.